Well, Randy, right here to your right. How's fight week going so far for you?
What's going on? Fight week is good. It's been good.
Fighting not too far away from home, right? So did you fly in or did you get to drive or how'd you get here?
Yeah, I flew in.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. No, I drove. I was like 19 minutes. I was already in the city, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like that or does it feel kind of weird fighting so close?
I'm indifferent. You know what I mean? I just drive up, come in, fight. My people is going to be here. You know what I mean? Whether it's away or here, it's easier. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. Coming off a great knockout loss back in February, one for the highlight reel, first round. When you went back and watched it, I mean, was it everything that you kind of had hoped for? Was that one of the cleaner performances of your career, do you feel like?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I felt like I got to execute, you know what I mean, a game plan. You know what I mean? So something we've been working on, and my coaches called for it, and when they called for it, I was able to execute it. So that was good. That was cool. That was a good feeling.
You've won 6 of your last 7 fights. You're on a great run here. I guess, what do you feel like some of the changes are maybe that's allowed you to have this consistency as you've moved up in competition as well?
Just being more deliberate, being more deliberate, not really just throwing out so many different things at once, you know what I mean, and kind of understanding the tools that I have, having a better understanding of the tools that I have and being able to just be deliberate with those things instead of doing too much. Sometimes less is more.
And what do you think of your opponent, Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos? We've seen him get some big knockouts. We've seen him lose, kind of everything in between. Usually a pretty exciting fighter. What are your thoughts on the matchup?
I think he's good. I think he's a crafty vet. He's been around a long time. Just, one of those dudes, experienced, man. He's experienced. He's seen it all. You know what I mean? But I think our styles match up really well. And I think that you're in for a treat. The fans are in for a treat.
Thanks.
Right in the front right here. You label him a crafty vet, but he only debuted in the UFC a year before you. I'm curious, like when you guys were both kind of rising up these ranks, did you know, was this a name that eventually you might have to fight, or was he just kind of off your radar?
He was off my radar because I believe he was ahead of me for a lot of it. You know what I mean? He was ahead of me. He was a guy that I believe, I once heard Kamaru Usman say that he was looking at him and preparing to fight him at one point. He had a streak, so he probably been ranked in the top 10 or something like that at that time. You know what I mean? I was outside the ranking, so it's not someone I was looking at the time. I was taking it one step at a time, you know what I mean?
And like Nolan said, he's kind of had, a lot of knockouts, a lot of submissions and decision stuff, but his last few fights, it's been, majority decisions, draws, split decisions. So I'm curious, like, what type of fight are you expecting from Elizeu in there? Like the fighter from old, or this one that we've been seeing in his more recent fights?
I'm not sure, man. I'm expecting top form. He's, like I said, he's been around, he's seen it all, and styles make fights. I think that I have a great style to kind of hinder his abilities, and I think that he has a great style to bring the best out of me. It's a matter of who can go out there and initiate their game plan. You know what I mean? But a guy like him, that aggression is gonna be a motherfucker to deal with. You know what I mean? So I gotta just be sharp, and kind of like snipe him out there.
And what are your thoughts on just the division as a whole right now? Because, we finally have that title fight between Leon and Bilal. Dana White just announced Nick Diaz is coming back in Abu Dhabi. MVP's fighting Ian Gary. So it seems like this division is moving again. So what do you just make of the state of the 170-pound division?
I mean, it's moving, I guess. It's moving. The welterweights don't fight. You know what I mean? They don't fight as often as they should be sometimes, But I guess it's more politics. But I don't really know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm focused on my fight. I would like to see guys fight more. My take on that already. I think people should be fighting. I don't think you should be able to sit around. Yeah, I think guys should be fighting. I think the guys who are #1 should be fighting for the championship. And I think that, fighter champions should fight at least once a year, twice a year. You know what I mean? So,
can I get your thoughts on the main event between Dustin and Islam?
Yeah, paid in full, baby. Paid in full, the diamond. I'm a fan of Dustin Poirier. I like his game. Someone that's inspired me throughout the years of my career. You know what I mean? Just seeing someone face adversity and come back and build back and constantly just refuse to say no, just refuse to go away. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm cut from a similar cloth. So I'm a fan of that. That being said, Makhachev is a hell of a champion. You know what I mean? A very good fighter. And that style, bro. That style is a tough style for Dustin. So stylistically, I think it's a hard fight. May the best man win, but I'll be rooting for Dustin.
And I know you just said you were a little indifferent to fighting at home versus away, but it does have to be a little nice that at least, assuming after the fight goes well, you get to spend time with family, maybe in like a favorite spot. Like, what are your post-fight plans?
Oh, shit.
You gotta.
Is that Rory? My man.
He's got the mic next. Don't worry. Do you have like some favorite restaurant back home that's going to be like the spot afterwards, the after party? Like, what is that? How's it feel? How's it work?
I'm happy my people are gonna get to be there. You know what I mean? My friends, my family, a lot of people that have never seen me fight. You know what I mean? A lot of my team is gonna be there. You know, so we're gonna be loud. You're gonna hear the pot covers. You're gonna hear all the craziness in the crowd. But that's just a plus. That's just a plus. I don't know. We'll see when I get out there and I fight. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's good. It's a good feeling knowing that going into the fight. But when the actual fight plays out, I mean, none of it really matters when I'm actually fighting. You know what I mean? It's just a crowd at the end of the day. So do I love fighting in front of a crowd? Hell yeah. I need to be in front of a crowd. This is what I do. I'm not an apex type of fighter or someone that has to fight privately. I need to be in front of a crowd. So a crowd is a plus. Knowing that my friends and family are there, that's cool too. But I don't think it's going to make a difference in my performance.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, right here. Right here. Sorry, bro. What's going on, bro?
What's up? What up, bro?
18th fight in the UFC, right? You see a guy like Joaquin Buckley who hasn't been around as long in the division. I think he's ranked 11th or something like that right now. He's kind of been active on social media and things like that. Do you think you need to make more noise as far as like social media and stuff goes to get your name out there?
I don't know. Maybe. You know, I think I hear people say that all the time. It's an interesting question. I don't want to be out of character. I don't want to be someone I'm not. You know what I mean? I mean, if it comes to me and people, if you know me, you know me. If you know my ability is going to be there. You know what I mean? If you know, if you tapped into my Instagram, my social, you tapped into what I'm out here doing, then you know. But I mean, if you're not, I'm not going to go out my way to start some beef with somebody or something like that. Like, it's just not what I do. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of corny, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's not frustrating to see that. It's inspiring, and I'm happy he can promote himself and do the things that he does as cool as a fighter to be out there and then promote the way and travel and call it. But sometimes it's just not my style. That's his style. That's not my style.
And then, like you just said, I know you're not a guy to go out of your way to start some beef. I know there was a fight that you kind of just wanted to tick off in Michael Chiesa. He got booked against Tony Ferguson. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't care about Chiesa, man. That whole situation was just, I just wanted to fight. You know, I wanted to fight someone with a name, and he was in the rankings. I felt I deserved to fight in the rankings. I don't give a fuck about Chiesa, honestly. He's out the rankings now. He's not, doesn't have a number next to me. He's fighting some old guy. They could go fight. Two old men go fight somewhere. That's it.
Randy, you over here. To your
over here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Rory.
Okay.
Rory.
Well, how you doing, Randy? Got a few questions.
I play Xbox with this guy sometimes.
and I beat him. But question.
Debatable.
Question for you. The fact that you have been fighting for like around probably 8-9 years, and you're still relatively young, in the division, what are some of like the more, I guess, because you've been in this division so long, you've seen the advancement of techniques in MMA, and we keep seeing new things being reinvented, and you know, people are utilizing new wrinkles in their game to find out what gets them to the top. What are some of those evolutions that you've noticed, that you've seen in the division, things that maybe didn't work so much back in the day, but maybe they work more now? Or what are those like real intricate details that you think takes you over the top in the division today?
The more things change, the more they stay the same. You know, so there's always going to be this new thing according to a guy because it just worked for that guy. You got to understand you got to understand the work that you've been putting in, and those same things that may be new to one person may not be new to the others. You know, it's about the fads that maybe people and the fans and the media maybe just see it, and all it takes is a commentator to speak on it and be like, oh, I've never seen this, and then everyone else, it blows up. You know, so I don't really take all that into account. the game does evolve, and where you see the real evolution is in the gyms and in your training partners and the people around you. That's where you really see the evolution, right? For sure, we study the game and we see what people are doing, but where you really develop your game is in the gym. You know, so you stay in the gym, and naturally, if you stay in the gym, you stay consistent, and you talking to your coaches, and you're continuously working and developing. They're studying the game as well, so you're naturally going to grow. You're naturally going to pick up, and you're naturally going to move in the direction of where the sport is going and where the development is. You know what I mean? Rising tides raises all ships, so it's something like that.
And what does it mean for you to crack those rankings in the actual division? Like, how important is it to you to actually get that number next to your name?
It's important. It's very important because, you know, rankings means, you know, a better legacy. It means I'm closer to the title. It means, you know, more money. It means a lot, you know. Everything steps up once you get a number, you know what I mean, and you get closer to the goals that you set out to accomplish, you know what I mean. So, yeah, if I've always thought like, yo, I deserve a number, bro. Like I've been fighting, I've been winning, I'm what, 6-1 in my last 7, and I'm unranked, which is crazy, but you know, and the one guy that beat me got ranked off of beating me, and I was unranked. But so I don't know, man. I stopped thinking about it. Hopefully after this fight I get a ranked opponent. If not, hey, keep paying me to beat up on dudes that y'all consider not good enough. And
last question for you. We see you got the new merch. I didn't know if you wanted to show off the new shirt. Maybe show everybody where we can get it.
Not one of them. Hear that? Not one. No boy. Not even one of them. Yeah, that's my new merch. You know what I mean? You could get my new merch at shoptouchandgo.com. You know what I mean? So yeah, dropping some dope stuff up there. So go check that out. Appreciate you.
Randy, over here to your left.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you know, this is at Prudential Center, which is kind of full circle for you because this was where your USA debut was. Your whole earlier career up until looking for a fight, it was Jersey. I mean, this is very intrinsic to the beginnings of you. And how does it feel to kind of come back here, having built yourself, not quite into a ranked fighter yet, even if you believe you deserve it, but you've accomplished a lot, you've grown a lot. Yeah. What does it feel like to kind of come full circle?
It feels good. It feels good. It's hard to just get complacent. It's hard to celebrate the small things. And I know I should celebrate the small things, but it's hard, you know what I mean? So those are a lot of things I don't think about because we're always looking ahead at the bigger picture, you know what I mean? So I didn't think about it too much, but it is. I made my debut here, you know, so it's not full circle. Full circle would mean that it would be the end, right? It's complete. It's not complete, you know what I mean? Job not done. So I'm happy to be back here where I made my debut, you know. I'm undefeated here, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I think it's cool. It is cool, but I got a lot more to do.
And you really were like a staple of a lot of these, you know, New York area cards, right? You were in Newark. You fought in, I mean, Albany is not really this area, but you fought at the Garden. You know, it's been a while though since you fought in this area. I think 7 years since you fought in this general area. Yeah. I get the sense maybe, you know, it's kind of extra to just have like local people there. You just like that it's fans, but I mean, do you prefer to be at least, you know, in your comfort zone, I guess, and be featured too? Because there's a part of this that you're the local guy, right? That must be something for you.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm tremendously grateful, and I love it. You know, I'm excited. I am, you know, and hopefully I can keep coming back. You know what I mean? Keep fighting here. You know, because I do have a lot of people here that support me in the New York and the tri-state area, and I'm super grateful for that, and I love that. But in the end, I just feel like when I get in there, it's hard for me to focus on that. You know, I'm focusing on this thing that I got to do, this guy in front of me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it means a lot. It does mean a lot. And I'm excited to be here. And it is a little easier because I just had to drive. I drove my own car. You know what I mean? Like, typically, I got to get on a plane and do some stuff. But I drove. It was quick. I was already in Manhattan. So it took me like 15, 20 minutes to get here. It was nothing. So that was good. That felt good.
And you kind of we hear about New York fighters a lot, but a lot of them are Long Island, right? It's not quite the 5 boroughs. You're representing the 5 boroughs. I mean,
I'm the only one representing the 5 boroughs for real.
Uriah Hall is representing.
Yeah, he was from Queens. Yep.
Sure. There was a couple guys, but I mean, it is very rare, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, do you feel kind of a little bit of responsibility to kind of help raise the bar for New York City MMA?
A responsibility, not so much, man. To keep it real, like it's not so much. Just I do feel, again, the word grateful to be around, to be the guy, that people could look to and say, oh, he's from New York, he's from Queens. 'Cause I'm around, like I'm outside, like I'm one of those dudes, like I'm around, like my friends see me, people see me day to day. I live in Jamaica, Queens. People see me just moving around, so it's cool to know that people know that I represent, Jamaica, Queens, or I represent Jamaica, the island as well. You know what I mean? So that's a good feeling, and it's good that I can go out there and show people, that from where I'm from, that you can actually do something. We can do this too in this area, in this little urban tri-state area that we're in, right? We can do this too, and it's just a matter of just really locking in and getting it done. So it feels good that I can inspire.
Thank you.
Randy, right over here in the back, right back here, this side. Yes, sir. Thank you. Recently, your social media presence has grown, especially with tiny office pics and your Twitch account. Do you feel like it's important to connect with fans outside of fighting?
Absolutely. I think that it's important for every young athlete to show, obviously we are combat athletes first and foremost, but to show a human side, and also to show that, we're multifaceted human beings. We're not just one thing. None of us is just one thing. You get burnt out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've been doing Tiny Office for a bit now. Shout out to my team. I have a tremendous team behind me to help me promote that. Been working up at the Meta headquarters. They've really been allowing me to use the space and helping me out. So, yeah, man, we're doing some cool things on social media. You know what I mean? And my YouTube channel, Rude Boy Studios, we've been doing a lot of cool stuff up there. So, I think that's important because people can get to see, I can tell my narrative, and people can get to know me on a different level. Because people, they think they know you from these little clips that get posted, you know what I mean, from the UFC. But y'all don't know me. None of y'all really know me other than what I tell y'all. So I feel like it's good for me to have a presence so people can actually get to know the man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And for UFC 300, we saw a special guest on Tiny Office Picks in Action Bronson. Do you think that we'll have him in the crowd on Saturday night here at UFC 302?
Shout out to my guy, man. Lots of love for Mr. Brunson. Yeah, we had him on Tiny Office. He's a super dope guest. He just dropped his own new line, his own new merch. Y'all go check that out. Incredible guy, man. Incredible guy. Incredible story. He's also from Queens, big Queens, Yeah, I hope to see him in the crowd. I haven't spoken to him or anything like that, but I think he has some kind of release for his brand coming up soon. So maybe he will be, maybe not. We'll see. I will tell you, one of my other guests will be there, though. Patrick Wilson. He'll be there. So shout out to him.
That's awesome, man. Thank you.
Hey, Randy. You started off your career in boxing as an amateur, and you had 6 amateur fights. Mm-hmm. As you build your profile in the UFC and become more popular, is that something you would entertain? Is going to the ring and fighting someone?
100%. 100%. I wish one of them would try me. 100%. I'm gonna do it. I would love to do that.
And what weight would you compete at in boxing, do you think?
Doesn't matter. Probably 68.
Yeah.
Right. I see people open their eyes at 68. Yeah, I could probably do 68.
Right. Awesome.
Or 75.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.